For drawing real-life objects, artists can have an easier way out by physically lighting something they are portraying, or wait till a specific time of the day to let the sun be in the right place. But for illustrations or drawings, things start to get a bit harder, and this is where this AI comes in. Things such as having trouble visualizing realistic shadows, maintaining the correct angle of the light source when drawing shades, and more. This AI is originally implemented in the famous Style to Paint, but the author decided to remove this function and surprised everyone with this amazingly well-made AI called PaintingLight. The goal for this AI in the future is to decrease the amount of time needed for artists to draw realistic light sources. As you can see here, it takes about 30 minutes for an artist to paint light source, while the AI just took 6 seconds to achieve around the same effect. I mean, the quality of fully drawn by humans is still better, but this requires a huge amount of time and expertise. But first of all, this AI does not rely on deep learning. It is not trained upon a huge amount of data sets. Instead, it is an algorithm where it estimates the drawing's stroke density. In a way, it predicts the stroke density of an unseen input. Stroke density basically means how often is the spot painted. The darker it is, the more intensive strokes are being estimated to be present there. The lighter it is, the fewer strokes are being estimated there. So in this example here, you can see it is basically a heat map but in black and white of how heavily these spots in this image are being painted. This information is then used to project lights realistically over. Additionally, adjusting the colors surrounding the key areas of the shadows and brightness. This is like the perfect example where the lack of data sets leads to a workaround with geniuses. It always amazes me how well algorithms can be developed too. As the AI is intended for light or relighting artworks, let's start with these test samples I tested. For its intended purposes, it works great. It's doing what it's supposed to do, and sometimes even better. It's just when you input artworks with too much brightness can easily screw up the lighting projections, and sometimes even with some weird shades or the AI cannot pick up the focus subject. You can always mask it and that'll probably fix its problem. Or even use this masking function to separate the subject from the background for a different lighting angle. When a specific spotlight is shown, this AI can move it slightly, and if the foreground and the background are clear, putting the light source in front or at the back demonstrates some really good interactions and results too. It works on classic portraits too, which is really fascinating, but not as much on scenery ones. I mean, it is pretty reasonable why it wouldn't work as not much shades are present. For anime, I think stroke density would be much harder to be estimated as it is usually not heavily dense because of the nature of animations. Frame by frame high quality drawing would be hard, but this can certainly be helpful for dark scenes or cave scenes where there is a focused light source when projected, and it can easily produce it for different angles. I think it can save a lot of time for anime productions or other animations companies, and occasionally some colors would spread weirdly, but I think this could be easily fixed by the authors in the future in my opinion. 3D rendered or drawn characters with a high budget though, you can easily see the difference. The stroke densities are picked up very well, and you can see the shading colors are accurate too. And unlike humans, the eyes are not being picked up heavily for stroke density, which is good. You'll see what I mean like right now. Like, look at this. They're like wearing eyeshadows, which is a bit funny. I feel like the faces are also being simplified or in a way cartoonized. I think this also applied to real life sceneries too, and in comparison, I think real life sceneries works better as it can pick up the light source, but not when the image is filled with light though. Otherwise, it works better than human faces, and I find it pretty fascinating looking at these test results. Moving on to black and white images, we have ourselves some manga content. You can easily tell that pre-made shadow still exists and hard to be altered, but you can see here the AI easily picks up the stroke density, as to be fair, it is really easy to pick up for our human eyes too. At its best, it could only intensify shades or reduce shades, but it's not a reliable tool for black and white materials like manga. Oh, and it sometimes has problems scanning stroke density too, which makes it look kind of funny too. If you want to test this AI yourself, I made an installation tutorial on my other video dump channel. Check it out if you're interested. If you have any questions or help needed for installation, or just want to come to join for literally no reason but clout, feel free to join my Discord, link in the description. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.